Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ray Wolf from Ray Wolf's Gaming Corner, and just gonna pop in and do a couple games in the Saladin. Still trying to figure this tank out. Still trying to come to grips with this tree. The premium, I think, is just—I don't want to say it's just better, but I think it is just better. I'm sure you guys probably are aware of that too. If you played the premium, outside of maybe the gun, I would say it's just straight up better. And I'm not saying that this gun can't be good, or I'm not saying the gun on that one can't be better than this one. Like the only difference is the rate of fire is a little better on this. I think the DPM is probably better on that gun, honestly, because the alpha, the 400 alpha or close to 400 alpha. But I think this tank's good in that I'm gonna try to get up here and help spot. If I can. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Light up their light. Come on, somebody hit this guy. He's right out in the open. Now, finally, we got some damage on him. And as long as I can hide here in town, I can probably get some shots and then recover, or retreat back to the building behind me. So the idea is just to try to poke a little bit here. Do I need to run premium? 250 is probably, or what is the 221's probably okay. This is oh no, tier 10 game. Okay, we'll leave the premium on just in case we have to pin something, with tier 10 sized armor. Sorry, guys, you're gonna hear the chorus of my dogs going off because my son just opened the garage door. Doing what good old terriers do, letting everybody know. Just kind of giving this leopard the good news. Tier 8 in a tier 10 game. Just like we're losing a few folks over on the town side. That's not good. Hopefully they play smart. T55A is pushing in over here on us. That is very smart on his part. Yeah, I saw that coming. Really don't want my engine taken out. What he doesn't realize, or does realize but doesn't care, is that as long as he's lit, as long as I'm lit, he's lit. in that position, and he will continue to take damage as well. Now I just got to stay hidden until he is completely gone off the map, and until I disappear. Once I disappear, kind of pop out and hit this leopard when he pops out. If he pops out. T95 is getting pushed by the mouse. And he popped out and spotted me is what happened there. He's a little sneakier than I am. Now he's lit up. But our Grambong is also taking damage from the middle. So now their Grambong and their leopard are out of it. I can go back to spot in my corner here. T95 is doing the Lord's work over there. See if we can move up and help. Still don't have a shot on that light. Or the mouse. It's pretty soon here. We're going to have to start moving up in mass. Put one into him. Okay, he's down. Okay, Artie's dead. Nicely done. Let's go get this. Let's go get him. Mouse is the only one here who's had any sense the entire time. And of course he's going to shoot me. I am not the guy that you should be worried about, Mr. Mouse. There's a lot worse than me. I am simply the one with the wheels. Not too bad, guys. Not too bad. And that's kind of like, from what I've seen, this is kind of the best way to play this tank. It's kind of a passive scout, right? Like, honestly, just putting binocular telescopes on this thing would not be a bad play. And just playing this thing like a turreted, like a really fast turreted TD. Play it like a Hellcat. Get into that sneaky position up front. Hide in that bush, camp that bush, and try to provide good spotting for your team. Now, there's going to be a lot of games where you're going to be competing with a full-time scout for that role. And in those games, this tank is not going to do great. I mean, the best thing you can do is do what I did there, which is get forward fast enough. And I don't even have a turbo on this thing. I really should be running a turbo, because you want to get forward fast enough to light up their scouts when they come to when they're trying to get to their position. The way to play this tank is to get there either ahead of them or at the same time. Camp the bush. When they pull up, They're already lit, and you can literally just um, allow your team to ambush their scout when he's coming into his position. Like that was textbook as far as I can tell for this tank for me to play. Now, does that make this a good tank? No, I don't think so. This line has a lot of problems, even for somebody like me who likes to play janky stuff like this and try to make it work. I'm not a great World Tanks player, but usually I can do okay even with the stuff that most people consider crap. And that was one of the better games I've had in this thing, to be honest. It may be the best game I've had in this thing. 2,500 plus spotting damage, 1,200 damage. You're just not going to get a ton of damage with this tank. And sometimes that's frustrating because you have a decent gun. It is a low alpha gun. It is a very low alpha gun, but the rate of fire is not bad. Um, and you can put up some repeat shots with it and feel like you're doing a good job. But then you look at your damage total, and your damage total is like 1,200, 1,500. It's not much because the alpha is just so low. But as far as like the gun handling goes, the accuracy goes, even the rate of fire is not terrible on this tank. So I like it for that stuff. And I like it for I do like the wheel mechanic on the British tanks. I do think they need to give these things something that makes them special, whether it be gun depression or something based off the wheels. I don't even know what. Maybe they have the best. Make it so they have the best ground resistance in the game, right? Make it so that they, even though they don't have a ton of speed, they never slow down. They never get slowed down by terrain. Give them some little gimmick that makes the wheels like feel like they're worth it, because the losing 70% of your speed when you get hit in the wheels just feels too penalizing for wheels to be much better than tracks, to be honest, because your wheels are going to take damage immediately. They're not going to get shot multiple times before they fall off. When the wheels fall off on this thing, even one, you take a 70% hit to your speed. You're nothing but a sitting target. At the end of the day, you're going to get blown away because there's no armor on this thing. So in reality, saying that wheels are better than tracks, in this tank it doesn't apply, because any benefit of the wheels is negated by the fact that with one shot, they're aired out. And you're going to get pummeled, because even one wheel being down on this tank is a disaster. So, there's no benefit to this tank right now to have wheels. The only benefit would be is if your ground resistances mattered, because you have wheels instead of tracks, to the point where like this worked like a true off-road vehicle, and that you could just get up hills faster, you could get down, you could move upslope faster, you could move through heavy terrain faster. And I don't see those benefits from the wheels being on this tank. I don't see any terrain benefit. I don't see any play benefit to this tank right now. I think Quickie Baby had it right when he reviewed these. It's just I think that Wargaming is going to eventually do stuff to fix this line, and that's kind of why I'm going up it right now, is I want to see those changes made, right? I want to see those benefits made. So I have a few minutes here. We're going to play one more game and see what we can do, and then I'm going to end the video with that one. And it could be, guys, I'm going to warn you, it could be disastrous, right? This tank is very hit and miss for me still. I'm learning it. I'm doing the best that I can with it, but I do struggle with it. And you're really depending a lot on the map that you get. So, honestly, with this map, I feel like the right play is to try to get into the center. Now, that being said, what do they have for lights and mediums? I mean, this Skoda might try. This T-54 lightweight's probably going to go that way. This G-SOAR, my premium counterpart's probably going to go that way. So it really matters if we can get the Char, the AMX. I mean, if we can get our stuff up there too, and our Barask and stuff, if we can get up there. Look at me almost keep up with this Barask, guys. Barask is pretty quick. I do have an experimental device on here that doubles as a turbo, but it's not that good, and I'm almost keeping up with the Barask. Now, see, the brass got knocked out right in front of me. That is terrible. But we did get up here. We did get up here. Now we just got to stay alive. Which means we have to play safe. Because this tank, you guys know as well as I do, this tank has a tendency to get nuked right after getting up in a position. That bulldog keeps popping up. Yeah, goodbye to you. It's a tier 9 game. So their wheelie did get nuked. Trying to get up here. Okay, our AMX 50B got up here. 50B. AMX 5100 got up here, which could be really good. I don't want to go pushing this side because I think it might be bad. I can kind of like try to peek, but if I get spotted, I gotta be really careful because, yep, I saw that coming. I knew it was gonna happen. So they're staying very close to the cliff edge because they want to spot us trying to peek. And I am not gonna die because I'm getting spotted immediately when I'm getting close to that edge. I'm gonna stay under cover is what I'm gonna do. We have to make this hill count though. We have to make this position count. It's got to be to our advantage. If we can't do that, we're gonna have a hard time in this game. So honestly, I do want to try to make this position count, make it matter. So I'm gonna try to spot here, see what I can do. Even if nothing's over here now, they will push up eventually. And I can probably move to the front side again eventually. Just not right now. Problem is it going to matter by the time I get over there? I may just have to play. See, they added all this structure up here to make it kind of impossible to just sit and peek up in all these positions, and it definitely does make it harder to play against. I'm not getting lit yet. There's nothing down on the side there. So not useful to be over there. Okay, we got rid of the Samoa. Okay, at some point somebody's got to go down. I mean, we're not really benefiting anybody in this position unless we can attack from up above. And if we don't do that, then there's literally no point being in this position. I'm not really sure. Oh, that's proxy spotting from beneath, so we are just not doing well here, folks. We're just not doing well. Oh, proxy spotted again. Oh, this is a tough spot to be in, guys. And these guys are going to keep harassing the hill to try to push us out of this position. I wonder if I can not knock myself over if I get into this cover. Oh my gosh, man. Why is my Skoda? Oh, because he's still reloading. Well, that sucks. I could have done more there. It's like, why is that guy sitting there? Oh yeah, he's in an autoloader that's got no ammo. That would make sense. And then I meant to go around this rock, and I kind of stopped, I guess, just hoping I would just freezing up, hoping I would reload, and I didn't want to jump out in front of everything, but it is what it is. It's a very light tank. It gets rammed, it's going to blow up. And I did slightly less damage in this one. We got the position early. This is one game I've never seen where our team gets the position early and then just fails to capitalize on it, really. Like, it's anybody's game at this point because we've just kind of let these guys push us around. And I started to get some hits into the back of that 50 TP, but again, our motion is so far back that their guys were just pushing around the side, lighting me up every time I try to get into position to snipe. So, you know, if you can't capitalize on the positions up there on the hill where you can shoot down on people, it's really not the greatest position to be in. It's kind of just a big box canyon at that point with no way out other than going down the rocks, which may be fine depending on where you drop, but it could also wind up getting you killed. Okay, so now our Skoda at least is taking advantage of the position, you know, late game. He's able to put some hits in from up top, but honestly he could do better probably coming off the hill, because now these guys are going to push him and he's going to get obliterated. Yeah. Again, it winds up being a disaster to be on the hill. And he's used both his shots now. And this Barask is going to hit him, or this TS5 is going to hit him, because he's in a position where he's just going to get pushed. And he's not doing a bad job of making it hard to kill him, but yeah, I think he was still reloading. Oh, oof, guys. This is going to be a toughie. 11 to 12. Scorpions pushing our AMX. So now we have 2 TDs and a medium. I wouldn't talk to the Mausch, and he's still alive. He's the only one still alive that's a tank on our team. It's not his fault. He's got to fight a crossfire. He didn't really have a choice. But that's the end of it, guys. We had a chance to win this one. We let it go. Not much you can do. It happens. But not a terrible game for the Saladin. And again, 1,000 damage. We got into position early. We started to put some shots out. Not a great game for that tank, obviously. But I mean, let's be honest. The Saladin has 1,200 hit points. So guys, I did 80% of my hit points. That I only have 12. Well, no, 1,200 is what comes on its stock, but it doesn't have barely any hit points. Is my point. So getting a lot of damage in requires you to avoid taking damage and staying alive. And getting it rammed by an E50 is not the way to do that. So, but honestly, not a bad game in my opinion. I don't think it was. We lost because of me. Let's put it that way. Definitely could have done better, but that's pretty much everything I have for you guys. I will show you the battle screen real quick. I mean, again, and I even got a couple battle rewards for accuracy and putting fire out, despite losing a few credits, because we didn't do a lot. Halfway up the team list, a little bit better on experience. Our team didn't do a lot either, apparently. But yeah, I like playing this tank. I enjoy the tank. I think it's tough to play right now. You really have to be in the mode for it. You have to be in the mental mode for it. You have to make it work. But I do enjoy the tank. I do like it. I just hope this line gets buffed. I think it looks really cool. I think that's one of the things I do like about it. I think the styling and stuff on it, it looks really rugged and military. So I do like that. I do like the way the wheels are spaced and just how much lift they give the whole vehicle. So I would love to see this thing again get some terrain buffs, maybe a little bit more HP per ton. Make it a little bit faster. I think that would really help this out a lot. If you made this thing fast enough to where it was just slower than what the French counterpart would be for an EBR, then for everything but a wheeled light, it would be able to get in position quicker, which I think is where this tank deserves to be. It's where this British line deserves to be. So again, with wheelies, how do you fix them? Well, I think the two ways to fix this thing is the first one I just mentioned. Give it a little bit more speed. I think the terrain resistance would be a good way to buff that. You wouldn't barely have to do anything with the engine power. Maybe a little bit. And then, so give it a little more grunt on rough terrain. And then the second buff I would give this thing, I literally would give this thing like 25% better turret, a better hull traverse. Like, this is ridiculous. The wheel traverse on this thing, the wheel turn angle on this thing is terrible. It makes the tank almost unplayable. Almost unplayable. Unless you're aiming directly for where you're going to go, you cannot turn into a spot. So don't even try. So I think that's one of my biggest issues with this tank. It's one of the things that makes the tank very hard to play, is that wheel turning angle. And I know you don't want to create another EBR situation. That's fine. You have a ton of room to go before you have to worry about that. This thing cannot turn even as much as a tank can. So you give it a tiny bit of traverse, or like I said, like a 20% hull traverse upgrade. You're not gonna make this thing overpowered. So again, buff the speed a little bit. 25% increase on your hull traverse. Just straight up. Don't need a nerf turret traverse. Just give it some hull traverse. Give it some turn angle on the wheels. That will fix this tank. The gun's fine. I have no problem with it. Hit points might be a little bit low, but if that's what you guys want to do with it, that's fine too. It's an armored car. It shouldn't have a ton of hit points. But honestly, mobility is terrible. Positioning is terrible. Agility is terrible. It doesn't need to be that bad it doesn't need to be that bad to be balanced, okay? This tank is just bad right now. It has plenty of room to be balanced upwards and not be overpowered. You've left yourself a lot of room to make changes. So that's my suggestion, Wargaming. Take this thing, give it turret traverse, or not turret traverse. Give it hull traverse via wheel angle, turn angle, and and give it a little bit more terrain, all-terrain ability. In other words, make it a little faster on all terrain types. And literally, you would fix this, in my opinion, you'd fix this tank. You'd make it just playable. Because right now it's really tough to play, even though I love the way the tank looks. I love British tanks, and I'm going to play it anyway. It is a crying shame right now. It is a crime in the game, the way it is currently put together. That's my take on it. I have yet to see, like, somebody correct me. Somebody go out and find me a Saladin putting up 4,000 damage or 5,000 damage. Somebody find me somebody doing that, and they're a dedicated player if they're doing it. I'll tell you that. And I'll awesome for you if you can do that. But I'm telling you right now, I don't know where the statistics are at yet with these. I doubt there's very many people playing them because they are awful right now. But those are my issues with it. And I think I've kind of been leaning in that direction every time I've done a review on these British wheelies. Even the premium has some of the same issues, but it's much more pronounced in the tech tree tanks. Much more pronounced. The G-Sor 1010 is not nearly as bad as this is. So that's my take. I love playing the tank. I'll continue to do videos with it because I'm trying to grind it. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, guys.